Hi, guys. Good evening, and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host, Eddie, and in tonight's video, I'll be discussing what I thought of that awesome and incredible, shocking, and emotional season finale we got from Monarch Legacy of Monsters. It dropped tonight on Apple Plus. I just got done watching it, thoroughly enjoyed it. Whoo, boy, this left us with a lot to digest and a lot to ponder as well. Now, before I begin, of course, please be warned, this is obviously a spoiler-filled review, so if you still haven't seen the season finale for Monarch Legacy of Monsters and you intend to, you don't want to keep watching or listening to this review, as I will be discussing pretty big spoilers, bombshells, character details, plot stuff, all that jazz. That being said, you have been warned. That being said, let's dive right back into it. Oh, what an episode this was. I love seeing the reunion between Keiko and Lee and Keiko and Hiroshi later up on the surface on our world. Very emotional, touching stuff. You know, Lee hiding himself to withhold the shock of Keiko seeing him as a much, much older man than she remembered him. And then her learning of Bill's death, learning about how much time has truly passed. I guess time works differently in the Axis Mundi. So it's not Hollow Earth, but like a point between Earth and Hollow Earth. So Axis Mundi is between Earth and Hollow Earth. I think that's how they explained it. And I guess time moves differently down there for whatever reason. And then this answered the question that had been popping up occasionally throughout the whole season, was that there was signals or gamma radiation spikes coming from different entry points all over Hollow Earth because Monarch was detecting them. It turned out it was Keiko sending those messages like, SOS, still alive down here, send help, pretty please. You know, but nobody made that connection except, of course, you know, our characters. And, you know, pretty emotional stuff between Hiroshi and his Japanese wife as well. You know, clearly things are never going to be the same between them. Yes, I'm sure she's happy that he's alive, but she can probably never trust him again after finding out he had a secret other family in America this whole time. Yeah, this was an emotional, exciting, satisfying, and thrilling episode. You know, we got to see an awesome fight between Godzilla and that big scary bat creature thing. I think that's the same creature that attacked Bill Randa's ship when he was a young man, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what that creature was. And of course, Godzilla made easy work of him by ripping his wing off and throwing him into that vortex thing. And then I'm not convinced Lee is dead, because if you're going to kill off Kurt Russell, you're going to do it on screen. You know, just ask Quentin Tarantino. But I feel like Lee could have survived that. He's survived so much throughout the show. So hopefully, if we get a second season, and now the way this ended, I really, really do hope we get a second season. We get some answers regarding Lee's fate, and hopefully answers about a lot of other things. Like, what the hell? Apparently, our characters have thrown in with Apex, the same people who go to create Mechagodzilla and Godzilla vs. Kong. And they apparently have a research station on Skull Island, of all places. And Kong appeared. Kong appeared in the final shot of the season, roaring in the rain, marching towards that research station. What the hell? Like, so we get that it's been 2 years since May, Kate, and Shaw fell into Axis Mundi. And even though it only was like a day or two for them, it was 2 years on the surface world. And I guess Tim and Hiroshi and Kentaro have thrown in with Apex now. And for whatever arrangement they have, and Apex has a research station on Skull Island. WTF, man. And I was not at all expecting to see Kong at all this season. But the way they ended it with him roaring there, God, he looked good. He looked and sounded incredible. So that was really exciting. Unexpected, but exciting. This episode was just filled with so much. Like, it felt like, a lot came full circle in this episode while leaving the door wide open for clearly much more stories to tell in hopefully a second season, if we get a second season. And so now the question is, okay, so it's been 2 years, which means this show took place in 2015, a year after G-Day, which was the events of Godzilla 2014. So that means if it's 2 years later, it's 2017. That means the events of Godzilla King of the Monsters haven't happened yet. And the events of Godzilla vs. Kong sure as shit haven't happened yet, because that doesn't happen until 2024. So what kind of story could we get with a second season? I don't know, but I'm hella intrigued, and now I'm hella hopeful that we do get one, because that was so good. It was such an awesome way to end the season with so many unanswered questions while answering a bunch of them. They left us with, while simultaneously answering questions that we had for the whole first season, they popped up a bunch of brand new questions that, excuse me, pardon me, they not only answered a bunch of questions we had about the first season, but then they gave us a bunch of new questions about a possible second season. So obviously the way they ended it, they fully intend to tell more stories. Will we get that? I don't know. Not yet, at least. But man, this was a satisfying, emotional, exciting episode. We got some excellent character dramatic moments with the character reunions and people confronting each other over calling each other out on their bullshit, mostly between Kentaro and his dad. And then Tim and the lady running Monarch as well. They had some emotional exchanges as well. Great monster fight between Godzilla and that giant weird bat thing. That was awesome. I guess they saved most of their money for the season finale, since that's like the most Godzilla we've gotten in the first season. He was scattered throughout this season, pretty well for the most part. I could have personally used a lot more Godzilla, as clearly indicated on my shirt. I could have used a lot more Godzilla this season, but I get it. It's a CGI, it's expensive, so we gotta deal with the card that we're dealt. So I understand, but I was personally very satisfied with this whole season. There were a couple of dud episodes, but there were more good episodes than bad episodes in this season, and that is its saving grace, I think, is that the fact that there were more good episodes than bad episodes in this season, and the season finale was truly solid, exciting, emotional, gripping, thrilling, intriguing. Those are the things you want in a good season finale. So I feel like, they're probably going to take what worked in season 1 and apply it to season 2, should we get one, if we ever get a second season. And I hope to God that we do. So overall, I thoroughly enjoyed the season finale. Not convinced that Shaw is dead. Feels like he probably survived that, because if you're going to kill Kurt Russell, you're going to do it on screen. So I think it's a matter of time when we see him again, and what kind of stories could they tell for a second season, since there's still a lot of time between Godzilla 2014 and the other movies. I don't know, but I'm very excited and intrigued as to what kind of stories that could be. So I hope you guys enjoyed the season finale as much as I did. What did you think of it? I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings on it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Monarch Legacy of Monsters Season 1 is now streaming in its entirety on Apple TV. Stay tuned and subscribe to this channel should we get any updates in the near future about a possible second season. Fingers crossed that we do. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks again for watching. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.